which seeped into her blood. "Don't worry, sugar. I only eat innocent tourists on Tuesdays." He held up his arm and made a point of checking the date on his watch. "Damn. Hadn't realized what day it was." "Have you quite finished?" Claire's scathing tone worked on most men, but this one only flashed a wide grin, his far too perfect white teeth gleaming against his tanned skin. "Sure am sorry, ma'am. The sun must have fried my brain." He didn't sound the slightest bit apologetic, but she nodded. He stood back to let her walk first, and Claire strode off, certain his eyes were checking her out as he followed close behind. Rafe remembered his brother's admonishment before he left his precious hotel in his tender care for a couple of weeks. "Guests are always right, even when they're wrong. Don't be your usual acerbic, rude self, and don't hit on any guests." The last statement must have been Anton's attempt at a joke, because they both knew that wasn't his style, especially these days. He guessed the order applied to sharp-tongued Brits, as well as normal people. He stepped behind the desk, removed his hat, and slipped his sunglasses into the neck of his t-shirt before opening up the reservations screen. "Name?" "Claire Buchan. You should have a room for me from tonight, and I'll be joined by the other 5 members of the group on Thursday. We're booked in for your Down and Dirty in Nashville package." Her lips pursed, which was a definite shame, as she had a lush mouth, the sort men wrote poems about, if they were the poetic kind, which he wasn't. Despite her whiff of disapproval, a fleeting wisp of sympathy tugged at Rafe. The package did sound tacky, although Anton assured him they were doing booming business with the new craze for ever more unusual pre-wedding jaunts. "Right." Rafe checked the list and nodded. "No problem. Do you have your credit card?" As she opened her wallet and passed a card over, their fingers brushed, sending a jolt of heat zinging through him. "Steer clear, you idiot." Quickly, he filled in the details and held the card back out, tossing her a challenging stare, wondering, in a small corner of his brain, whether she'd felt it too. Claire Buchan didn't flinch, pinning him to the ground with her clear, light green eyes, piercing enough to cut glass. Without a word, she snatched the card away. Rafe pushed her key across the desk. "The elevator's over there, but I'm afraid it's broken. Should be up and running later if the guy turns up to fix it." "Wonderful." Her dry sarcasm amused him. He appreciated sharp humor in a woman, but it was often a fruitless search among their puzzling concerns about shoes and candle fragrances. "Hey, you're young and fit." Under the dowdy, mud-coloured dress, he was pretty sure there lurked a more than decent figure. "A couple of flights of stairs won't kill you. Plus, if you ask sweetly, I'll even carry your bags up." "I can manage perfectly well, thank you." "It's part of my job. I'll take them," he retorted, and walked back out around. Rafe bent to pick up her matching dark green leather case and bag from the floor, but she dove for them at the same time and tried to tug them away. He gave one strong yank and pulled them from her hands, hit by a wave of intoxicating, spicy perfume rising from her fair skin. "My God, are you always this stubborn?" "Fetch the manager for me right now. I can't imagine why you're employed to deal with guests, or maybe you don't have any others, which wouldn't be a surprise," she snapped, and Rafe burst out laughing. He couldn't help himself, but the more he let rip, the harder her features became, until they resembled the granite countertops in the kitchen. "Go ahead and complain, sugar. I'm listening."